you need to have consequences when you get in the car. In real life,
Okay.
when you sit in the car, there are consequences to making bad decisions. With sim racing, or with racing as it was before iRacing, there were no consequences to getting on the track and going out and being involved in wrecks, making bad decisions, or anything like that. With the iRating system and the safety rating system, there become some consequences with making bad.
This episode is brought to you by Trophy AI, the ultimate performance coach tool for sim racers. Hello and welcome to the Chicane Podcast, where we discuss all things in the sim racing world. I'm your host, Jason Rivera, and I'm joined here by Mr. Eric Kelly, Jeff Smart, and a very, very special guest, Mr. Nim Cross, the iRacing Chief Steward for iRacing. How's everyone doing this week?
Good to see you guys.
Dude, we have sim racing royalty in the studio today, gentlemen. Everybody's on their
I'm
best
telling you,
behavior.
man, I feel like getting them church vibes. So. It's
Forgot
coming
my
on
tie
the
today,
show.
you know.
Big Nim
This
Cross,
is gonna be-
what's up, man? Thank you so much for making the time to come on the Chicane Podcast. I know you found us via the 24-hour Nürburgring, and
That's
once
right.
you mentioned who you were, I almost crashed. So,
How
how are you doing this week, man?
I don't think I mentioned who I was, but somebody found me out and called me out. It's good to see you guys. I'm doing great. Middle of summer, lots of races we've been going to, and we're looking forward to going to some more. But yeah, I saw you guys at the Nürburgring. I just like to tool around and see what's going on and check everybody out. And I happen to crash upon your screen, and you guys look like you were having a lot of fun, so you kind of hooked me in, and I got to watch you guys do the 24 hours.
Maybe a little too much fun. Well, that's great, man. Thanks for allowing the time. Eric, Jeff, how was your week, guys? How was it going? Jeff, welcome back to the show, by the way. Welcome
Good
back,
to be
brother.
back. Missed you guys.
Yeah, man, we missed you too, man. My week was good. 4th, we just passed the 4th of July. A lot of sun, a lot of barbecue, probably too much barbecue. Had a great time with the family. Can't complain. I did want to do a special shout out though. I came across a stream of some guys that watch our podcast, and they were super supportive with sharing our links and stuff. RSR, the Real Sim Racing Squad, want to shout them out, and Eric B as well. Man, they were. I mean, as soon as I just popped into their little stream, and it's not little at all, but as soon as I popped in the stream, I said something. And they were like, wait a minute, are you Eric from the Chicane Podcast? We watched that. And I'm like,
oh, that's a good feeling.
This is
wild.
crazy. They're like, yeah, we watch every week. I'm like, hey, man, I appreciate that, man.
You guys good people.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, and then now we got an official steward. So, we got to be careful what we say about iRacing. Earlier, I was talking about the UI.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
got to watch my mouth, man. But Jeff.
I don't see how it's possible to say anything bad about it. So,
Jeff, welcome back to the show, brother. How was your week? How was your time off, man?
It was good. So I went to travel back to the East Coast. Saw a buddy retire from the military, which was great. And just a data point, I did see the F1 movie. Go see it. It's awesome. There's F1 scenes. There's GT3 scene. Racing scenes. Go see it. That's all I got to say. They do talk about sim racing for about that long. But they do.
But they threw it in there, man.
They threw it in there. That's all I got today. I'm ready to get back in with you boys. I missed you guys.
Hell yeah. So today we have a new segment, and it's going to be called the Simdustry News Update presented by Ready, Set, Sim. And the first one, I'm going to hand this over to Jeff to make our first news update announcement that's critical, actually. It's actually blowing up on the internet right now at the time of this recording. So, Jeff, if you may, please.
Yeah, absolutely. For today's Simdustry announcement is here. George, who's running the show at the Sim Gaming Expo, posted today. And this is, if you're looking for any additional information, it's on their Facebook, all socials pretty much updated here. But I just want to walk through it here. They're excited to announce the unveiling of the Sim Gaming Expo Challenge Sprint Series presented by SimiCube, the official sim racing tournament of the Sim Gaming Expo. It's a multi-staged competition, kicks off with a time attack on yours truly, iRacing from the 14th to the 28th of July. Top 75 drivers will qualify for online qualifiers on August 9th. For there, they'll get to the 30 finalists. They will be in a live championship event happening at the convention center during the Sim Racing Expo on the 6th and 7th of September. All racers will be using the Porsche GT3 or 911 GT3 with setups provided by the Maconi Setup Shop. Online qualifiers will be broadcasted by RaceSpot, while the in-person tournament will be produced, obviously, by their production team in-house. So, dudes, this is awesome. Super cool announcement here from George, who continues to make this event somehow cooler and cooler. Every time I log on basically to Facebook, he has another update. But if you want more info on this challenge here, I am putting, if there's any entry fee, I got Jason's. I'm riding that horse. He's my favorite to win the thing. So go find their social media, Sim Gaming Expo. If you want some more info. And again, they got the early 10 at checkout, or give the Chicane podcast. We got a discount code for you guys to get 10% too. So keep going, George. Keep crushing it. Don't forget to sleep here and there.
Chicane 10, guys, still active, and we are less than 60 days from this event. So, I mean, we want to get to our guest here, but I tell you now, the time to act is fast. And now, if you're thinking about it, you need to make a decision now, because spaces are going to fill up. It's going to get expensive to find a place to stay over there. If you have thoughts about going, just let us know. Send us an email at the chicanepodcast@gmail.com. If you feel like going, if you're kind of undecided, let me know. We might be able to do something for you. So, and with that, we have the Chief Steward. I like calling him Chief, but he corrected me right before hitting the go button. But the Chief Steward for iRacing is in our studio, which is unbelievable. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and address him very quickly with the first question is, tell us about your sim racing journey there, Nim Cross.
Oh, man.
I know. It's probably
it's a lot.
I'll give you the short version and you guys can ask anything. But I started off as a young lad, and there were no computers or anything like that. So I started making board games, and I just love racing and I love gaming. And back in the day, there was a few little racing games that came out, like 2D games and stuff like that. And, I was hooked on that, just dreaming of bigger and better things. I wanted something that I could simulate racing on, and I wanted to have a career. I knew I wasn't going to do it in real life. So, this was the best outlet for it to happen. And I got involved in a bunch of racing games. The best one that came along was the Indy 500 by Papyrus, and played that, enjoyed that. That was basically the first forte into computers. I got my first computer back then, and this was like 1989 or something like that. And when Papyrus put out the first NASCAR game, I was lit. I was just I just couldn't take. I would go to work, come home, and play that game. And while I was at work, I would find times on my break to call Papyrus and say, "Look, we need to fix this. We need to do this." And they finally put me on the beta team and the beta testing team. And back then, it was a lot easier to make contacts. I would get the phone number of somebody and I would call them up. And there was this guy that worked at Papyrus called Matt Santel. He was a great guy. He's won the team. And I would call him up and just start talking to him about all kinds of things we could fix and work on and things like that. And they eventually, after a couple of years, me working and testing and doing stuff like that for beta testing, they allowed me to use some of their tools to actually help improve the game. And I created a whole AI thing, called it Nim's AI. And
of course you did,
and put it on the internet with their permission, obviously. And people downloaded it and was able to have a better experience racing AI offline. And about that time, the whole Hawaii thing started, and Hawaii was the beta platform for the first online racing
Wow.
type thing, and we would all dial up and race each other over the phone at 10 cents a minute. And people
Wow.
would
The good
have
old
$1,000
days.
phone bills at the end of the month.
10 cents a minute.
It was crazy.
Oh man.
Did all that, and I helped Papyrus do a lot of promotional stuff. Did magazine interviews, and I have one magazine that has my picture with next to Bobby Labonte. Like you could be a racing star online with and just race just like Bobby Labonte, and and did all kinds of different things with that. And then just helped them along with a bunch of different games. I found myself working for a couple other gaming companies, gaining experience and things like that. And to jump a little bit here, I eventually made my own role-playing game outside of like Papyrus's NASCAR 2002. And I made a role-playing game where you had owners and drivers, and a driver couldn't drive a car unless he was hired by an owner. Owners had all budgets. They had all kinds of things. We had magazines. We had a whole environment that was outside of the game and on this website. And it made
Wow.
people feel like
Man.
they were race car drivers and owners. We had people playing the game as owners who didn't even own the game and who had no racing experience at all. And
That's awesome.
we would race inside. We would qualify on Sunday nights. We would line everybody up on pit road, and it was just like real life. You lined up on pit road, and you sat there, and there were 40 cars, and they qualified for 32 spots. And if you didn't make the show, your owner was not going to be happy, and you were going to get fired. And so you're sitting there. You're sitting there with the cars driving around the track. You hear the motors going by, and you're just sitting there. The pressure's building up, and it's your time to go out in the track, and you do something. You wreck the car, and the owner's now got to pay for all the damages on your car. We had programs that went through and calculated each part of the car's damage.
It's a Gene moment.
The owner had to pay for all that. If you didn't make the race, it was bad news. And plus two, everybody got fired at the end of the season. So all the drivers. So owners got to bid on their drivers. The owners got to bid a salary on their drivers. So you may have gotten hired by an owner for $90K per race, and the race only paid $100K to win. So you were in big trouble if you didn't do very well. So it was that whole type of environment. Officiating, somebody cussed out somebody, they would get fined. There were, drivers got all kinds of fines, and it was just. And if an owner fired a driver through the week, and this is back the early 2000s, so we communicated through email. And if a driver got fired, you would get an email. Everybody in the league would get an email saying so and so got fired.
Free agency.
And then there's an opening, and then that would produce a frenzy for all these drivers that didn't have rides yet to be emailing that owner to try to get a ride. And it was just it was just really, it was a really cool environment. It was very intense, very realistic, and luckily for me, John Henry, who is the owner of iRacing, owner of Fenway Sports Group and the Red Sox and things like that, he saw what I was doing, and he contacted me and he told me that I was at the pinnacle of sim racing at that time and what we were doing. And we talked for a long time, and he eventually asked me to come work for the company that he would be starting in a year or so from then, which would be called iRacing eventually.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's
this
amazing,
man,
so
history, dude. That's
what
insane.
a story.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
that's got to be the best story I've ever
Intro.
heard here on the show, hands down.
Dude,
Most of us started in COVID.
you need to make you need to redo this, but like live stream it all so we can I would watch it on like a Tuesday night
Actually, you could
with
write
the-
a book
yeah.
about this, bro.
and
Like,
just
seriously.
watch it all unfold in front of you with a
There
cocktail.
was so
It would
much,
be awesome.
I just tried to give you it was so much more. It was so.
Well, I'm
it
pretty
was a
sure
lot,
it is. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm very blessed, very lucky. I just happened to do something I love to do. I wanted to have a real racing experience, and everything that I did was incredibly selfishly for me. Luckily, other people got to play it. Other people got to do it.
People
But
liked
I
it.
did everything because this is what I wanted in sim racing, right? I wanted I wanted to experience racing, and the only way that I could do it was to create this thing. I talked about this. We were sitting around the campfire at Summit Point at night after watching the races and stuff like that. We were drinking beers or whatever. And there was some sim racing buddies sitting around the fire, and I'd be like, "Hey, I have this idea. What do you guys think about lining up on pit road and qualifying?" And they were like, "You're nuts, man. Nobody's going to want to do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I think some people, what about people
Yeah.
being owners?" They were like, "No, who's going to want to be an owner and not drive?" And I actually thought on it and had everything in my mind. I would not sleep at night thinking about it, but I had everything going in my mind for a year before I actually started. And it came
Wow,
together
dude.
really well.
That's
Yeah.
insane, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
speechless
crazy.
right now. I don't even know how to
But
move on from that.
yeah, like I said, very, very blessed, very lucky. Got to start with iRacing. When I started with iRacing, I ran QA, and we did a lot of testing, a lot of conceptual ideas with John, and the rating stuff and how things would work. For the longest period of time, they started building iRacing, and then when we went live, that is when I took over the Chief Steward role.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
So you've been
Epics.
the Chief Steward for a minute now then.
2008, I think we went live, and that's when I started doing that.
So he's
man.
been the chief
So you're
steward since inception, bro.
Single
Yeah,
digit
he's
employee at
the-
iRacing.
He is number one. He is 001.
I would say number 4. Let's say number 4.
Number 4. Being modest.
Yeah, we don't
again.
want number one. Or
He's got
two
a good
watching
parking
this,
spot.
but we're like-
I do have a good parking spot.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Man.
All right,
So-
so yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, so man, I can only imagine the stories, because just thinking about that time frame. But I'm gonna try to stay focused on the.
I'll give
question
you
I
one.
got.
Here's a story for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So
What you got?
our first offices, right? Very small office, maybe 6 or 7 offices, and you all know who Dave Kemmer is, obviously. And we're sitting in the office, and they're thinking of the name for the company. What are we going to be called? We're battling around a few different names, and Dave's talking about iRacing, and I'm like, maybe we should call it the Virtual Racing World or something like that, and I just to be in that meeting with the discussion of what the name of the company was going to be, and iRacing is clearly the best name it could have been. It is just the divine name of this company, and I just remember, and I'll never forget just being in that room talking to him about, the discussing what the name of the company was going to be.
So was it
Wow.
iRacing like was he dead set on iRacing out the gate, or did you guys kind of?
I think Dave was. I think Dave was. It was going to be called iRacing. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So he just came in the room with greatness already.
Well, Dave is in greatness whatever room he walks into. But yeah.
I always thought
Oh, yeah.
I always thought the name came from like, Apple devices, because at the time you had iPods and you had iPhone.
Yeah, I don't know where he came up with the name from, but just in that meeting, that's what we
Mm.
were going to call the company. So he, maybe that's some of the
Because
thought he had
2008
into it.
is kind of it
Well,
makes sense, right?
This was back in 2003 when we were
Yeah,
talking about
it was
2003,
way
2004.
before iPhone, yeah,
Yeah.
and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Man,
Interesting.
that's cool.
Maybe we gotta we gotta email this guy. But all right,
But,
well,
yeah, I'll go ahead
Yeah.
with my actual question, which was about your setup. I know you mentioned you did a new setup, but
Yeah.
what's your current setup, and how much driving do you actually get to do? I know we interview a lot of not a lot of people, but we assume everybody gets to drive a lot, but we also know if you're actually working on the product, you might be doing more testing than actual driving.
Right. So this is my old setup right here. It's just a wheel stand with a Fanatec setup right on it, and that's what I used for so many years. And that was my setup. And the one you see over my left shoulder now is something we built over the winter, probably in March. My nephew helped me build it, and he actually did most of it. He was incredible with it. But it's a Track Racer T160. It's awesome.
Nice.
It's got a 90 inch widescreen on it, and It's got a SemiCube 2 Pro
Yes, sir.
wheelbase.
I knew you were going to say.
Yes, sir.
It's awesome.
And
It's absolute.
salute.
It'll rip your arms right out of your
Yes, it
your
will.
body. Yeah, I got a Rexing carbon fiber Formula Molaris 2-wheel.
That's a nice one.
Yep, I got
DNR supported, by the way. Plug. DNR supported. Rexing.
Yeah.
I got the VNM 3 pedal set.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, a good pedal set, and a Heisenfeld shifter, sequential shifter.
Nice.
Those are
nice.
I got a monitor on top for. I do stream. I record all my races that I do and I like to put them on YouTube. And I'm not really into, making my YouTube channel huge or anything like that. But I just like to have a library of my races, to watch.
Right.
Yeah. So if I want to watch them, I think it's great to watch your own races to go back and evaluate what you're doing in just different situations and things like that. And I enjoy watching me race. Who else can not watch me race? So anyway,
that makes sense.
I have my own
Totally.
YouTube channel that I upload all my races to. So that's why I got a little bit of the streaming stuff set up. And as far as races that I do, I don't do a lot of testing. We're very busy with protests. Yeah, and I do some a little bit, but not a whole lot. When I have time, I like to drive. I did all the QA stuff and testing stuff the longest time now. But I like to be surprised as you guys when release date comes. So to tell you the truth, when there's a new car coming and things like that, I usually don't touch it until it gets released, and then I go enjoy it when everybody else enjoys it. I just like doing that. I'll go out and I'm right now I'm driving weekly. I drive 2 Formula races, the Formula 4 and the Super Formula.
There you go.
I knew he was a good dude. I knew he was a good dude.
I drive GT3. I drive the Porsche.
There you go.
And,
the Porsche.
There we go.
I drive nothing but the Porsche
Oh,
because I'm hoping Porsche notices and they send me a car one day.
Hey.
I might drop it off one day.
And I drive IMSA.
911. There you go.
IMSA?
Yeah, IMSA GT3. And I drive some oval. I drive the Gen 4 series. I drive the 87 series for NASCAR. I drive in
everything.
a league, Sarah, late model league, super late models and the regular late models. I drive in that league, and probably something I miss here and there. You can go to my YouTube page and check it out, and you can see what I drive.
We'll definitely put links below for all your YouTube and your, all your socials and everything.
You want to see some bad driving? There you go.
I do have a question,
Yeah.
and this is a really quick one before before the actual next question. But it's a long shot. But by being so connected to the iRacing, team, do you get this content for free?
Yeah, absolutely. I get it for free. Let's say I don't pay for the content, cash wise, but I live iRacing every second that these eyes are open. And so I just love my job. I love the environment that I work in. I love my life that I get to. You guys,
I tell you what, Nim, if you love what you're doing and you call that work, you're not working.
That's right. It's not working. It feels very strange to me to call it a job because I'm very blessed to have what I have and be able to do this and not have a problem like this. There's with my job there's different experiences that you go through with different situations, but in the end it's you're working to make this product iRacing a better environment. And one of the greatest things for me, you guys think about iRacing as the product, I think about iRacing as the community. And all you guys, we have 330,000 people racing on iRacing right now. And iRacing to me is the community, and the software is obviously important, but it is just the place where the community resides.
Yeah,
100%. We praise it a lot on the show, and it's not just to praise it. We actually, I have a lot of fun on iRacing. It's
wonderful. Yeah,
as you saw in our stream, we just having a blast.
That was the best. I love that stuff.
Jason, if I could just say a quick something before I go into my question here, is like our industry is in the best of hands. Like the passion that the people like Nim Daniel Newman, anybody that we've talked to on the podcast, and George, like the passion that people have for sim racing and the community that's really is what everybody talks about, is the people that are using the software and hardware and the products here or there. Our industry is in good hands.
Yep.
There is no doubt in my mind where this industry is going because of the people that are building it, from the ground up.
Oh yeah.
So
100%.
There's a lot of good people up at iRacing. When I get to go up and visit the offices, it's a real wonderful time up there.
Well, Nim, take me with you, please. I will.
I'd love to take you with us.
I'll carry the bags, bro. Just let me know what I need to do.
Oh yeah.
We can arrange that maybe. Yeah.
That would be awesome, man.
Well, speaking of that, being the chief steward, what are your current roles and duties with iRacing being the chief steward? If you could talk to us about kind of what your day-to-day, week-long activities is for you.
Yep, no problem. My job is to facilitate the needs of the stewards of the department. So we get probably 1,000 protests a day into the service. Yeah. So my 8 stewards that work for me, it's their job to go through all these protests and to try to figure out which protests are valid and which are not. And I'll give you a basic ballpark. Usually it's about 40% of the protests are valid, 40% of them are not, and 20% are something else, that aren't really protest related. So they go through protests, and a steward can process up to 25 to 30 protests an hour. You're basically loading replays. You're saying, and once you get to doing this job, you can load a replay up and know what's going on with it in just a few seconds. And they all have the best computers, the best hard drives. They load replays like you wouldn't believe. Like when I go into a race, I'm in a race 25 seconds, 30 seconds before anybody else is on the track.
Wow.
And it's just
nice.
We have them set up to where they can load replays very quickly. My job is to facilitate the needs of all these guys, to take care of any issues support may have with a customer or anything like that. Take care of a lot of the unusual things, the challenging customers. And then I do, and a couple other people do appeals. So if somebody gets suspended and they want to appeal, I take care of that. And there's a couple other people involved that take care of that kind of thing. And doing appeals in itself is mainly a full-time job. But then if there's any questions or any issues that the stewards have, they come to me, and we all hang out in kind of a Discord setting through the day, and we all kind of work together all day long.
That's awesome, man.
1,000 protests a day.
Yeah, I can believe it.
We were looking at it today when we were working, and I'm like, man, that number is not coming down. And we were getting 1 or 2 protests a minute, through the afternoon today. Yeah.
Hey, I might need to expand the team, man.
Oh, that's we've been growing a lot lately. We put in a couple thousand customers just in the last week or so. The growth is crazy. Obviously that's great. And we're working on different ways to help educate people on sending frivolous protests or things like that. Because that's one of the main areas that we can work on, where people are sending protests for just bumps and normal
I don't know,
type
man.
issues. So
I'm a little embarrassed, man. I may have gotten written up, in the past.
Well, there's people that work for me that have gotten written up in the past, so it's not
no
a big
sympathy.
deal. Yeah, I mean, we people learn from their mistakes or whatever, and people learn from different situations, and it's all good. We don't carry grudges.
Okay, just don't do a Control F Jason Rivera, because I might be on that list. And I promise it was Jeff testing my rig or something.
If you get kicked off the service, if you get kicked off of iRacing, you've worked hard to get to that point. So
no,
No, man.
All right, Nim, the next question. So I guess a follow-up, right, to Jeff's question. Why did iRacing decide on the current safety rating criteria? And what would you say to those that are critical of it.
Yeah. So just like real racing, you need to have consequences when you get in the car. In real life,
Okay.
when you sit in the car, there are consequences to making bad decisions. With sim racing, or with racing as it was before iRacing, there were no consequences to getting on the track and going out and being involved in wrecks, making bad decisions, or anything like that. With the iRating system and the safety rating system, there become some consequences with making bad decisions. And some may say that it's not enough consequences, it should be more. But we believe over time that it does sort out the drivers who are better and safer from the drivers who choose not to be. And it is a choice, basically, how you race. And there are people that get frustrated sometimes, and we all have those uh, times where we get involved in a lot of things that we didn't cause, and there's streaks that happen. But overall, your safety rating and your I rating are yours, whether you believe it or not. That is a good rating for how you drive, not based on everybody else.
I think
And
that's a little bit of humble pie. I think everybody could take that statement.
yeah.
I mean,
and like I said,
me
that's
included.
over time. Yeah.
The biggest complaint about the safety rating, in Jason's humble opinion and a few other guys that I race with, is getting a 4X for something that you did not do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're driving the perfect line,
Mm-hmm.
somebody comes off the track, back onto the track, and then hits you on the door, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
like 4X. It's like those are some of the things that
Jason,
I yeah,
my
go ahead.
reply to you is that
Yes.
who is driving your car? Is it you, or is it somebody else? Now, I'm not saying that you're responsible for every 4X that you get, but we all race in the same environment. And if you are having issues where you're getting a lot of 4Xs from other drivers, and I always tell people this, and I've told people this even before iRacing, when you're ever involved in an accident, you should go back and look at every accident that you're involved in a way where you look at it as, how could I have avoided this? Okay? Because you can't control what the other guy does. And when you guys were racing in the Nürburgring 24, I even talked to you about this. I noticed in that first wreck that you guys were involved in, I could see the cars ahead of you, and I knew they were going to wreck. There's absolutely they were going to wreck, and I saw it, and I was like, you guys got to back off. These guys are going to take each other out, and you have to realize, when they actually wrecked, sure, the accident was their fault, and they caused you to wreck. But was there an opportunity for you, or you're the driver of the car at that time, to see what was going on, and to understand what was going on, and to avoid that situation? Because there clearly was in that instance. And this is what separates the drivers who have the certain safety ratings from those drivers who don't have the certain safety ratings. And those drivers who are constantly saying, I'm getting wrecked by everybody all the time, it's not everybody else's fault all the time. You have to evaluate your own decisions, and you have to evaluate the situations on the track. And if you do that, the iRacing systems are very lenient, in my opinion. And if you learn to evaluate the environment that you're in and the situations that you're in a little bit better, you'll be a 499 and no problem at all. No issues.
Okay. Well said. Well said. We were just speaking in general terms,
No worries. I didn't mean to point anybody out.
You put on the steward hat on you, man.
We might need it. We might need it from time to time.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'll
say this.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
I will say this as somebody who, I'm not sure if you're familiar with, Gran Turismo or anything like that, but coming from a more arcade kind of style racing game to iRacing, the safety rating and the I rating, we have the same thing in Gran Turismo, but the weight of it feels significant in I rating. Like it feels like I was terrified in my first couple of races because of just the cost of wrecking or going off
Yeah.
track or hitting somebody else.
How do you think you
And
feel if you got in a real car? You
yeah,
know,
it'd be
if you had a car, man, you'd have that feeling. You'd have that feeling of fear a little bit, that feeling of concern, that feeling of,
yeah,
that bad things could, this is, and that's what's great. That's what's great about these systems, and everything you say here makes me feel like we did it. You know,
yeah,
it's working as intended.
It is working.
yeah,
It is
Yeah,
working
yeah,
because
I
you
agree.
think twice
first
before.
sentence was like you hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you were in a car, you'd be nervous. You should be a
exactly.
little nervous sitting in your car
Yeah.
in your
And
your
you know
sim.
what? Your car could be wadded in turn one in real life
Been
by
there.
Yep.
nothing that you did. You didn't
That
do
is true.
anything wrong, and you can be wadded up.
Max
Yeah.
Verstappen 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true, man.
This is getting spicy. I love
Yeah,
it.
no, I needed to hear what he had to say because
I think
more
we
than
all
50%
needed
of
to
the
hear.
time was
Yeah.
like, hey, it wasn't me. I didn't hit somebody. Somebody hit me. But
Mhm.
I have no comment back to what you just said there, Nim.
Well,
It's
it's
a little
not.
bit of
It's not a
humble
bad
pie.
thing. It's
a
not
little
a
bit of humble
bad.
pie.
It's not a bad thing to realize the situation and what you're going. And sometimes people need to be told directly. And if it opens your mind and opens your heart to what's actually going on, you're going to be a better driver because of it.
100%. 100%. And eventually your safety rating and iRating will go up, and then your
Yep.
strength of field goes up, and then you're placed with another group of drivers that are more serious, and then your license. So it's a system that I'll tell you here on the show that it does work. It does work really well because people think twice. That's why a lot of us go to league racing to improve, and then come over to officials to
Yeah.
to actual perform on the official side.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my case. But yeah, that's awesome, man. So
Yeah.
next question, we got Mr. Kelly.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. Have you had any sort of like formal like business or programming education? Because I know that passion kind of led you
Yeah.
down this road, but have you kind of coupled that with any formal education?
In 1987, I got a degree in electronics, only because that was the key word at that time, and I needed to make my parents happy. And so I got a degree in
That's
electronics. Yeah, I got a degree in electronics. It has done nothing to help me where I am today. My that day, like the only thing that not the only thing, but that did get me a job where I met my wife, and where we created raised a family, and but that's what my electronics degree did for me. We went through before how I got the job at iRacing, and it really, I've been turned down to other gaming companies before iRacing because I didn't have certain degrees or whatever. But luckily,
Wow.
John saw passion as the biggest priority, and that's
Yeah.
lucky for me. I got that in iRacing.
Turns out that guy's pretty good at judging talent.
Yes, he is.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, many
There's
many
wisdom right
things.
He's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right, I got another question here about iRacing as the business side, and I'm not sure if it's in your wheelhouse, but hopefully you can kind of speak to it a little bit. But what goes into deciding what track to add or what car to add?
Yeah. So obviously it's a little bit of what people are asking for. Customer requests, things like that. But
Interesting.
yeah, I am not direct. I have actually signed a few tracks. One of the I was big in getting dirt onto dirt racing. I go to like 80
okay.
dirt races a year. Next week I'm going to be
80.
going to 6. Yeah.
80.
Next week I'll
Wow.
be at 6 races, and we'll be traveling about
bro.
1,500 miles. But I go to sprint car races all day long, all the time. So I was a big proponent in getting dirt racing on iRacing and selling dirt racing, and I was luckily enough to be involved in signing some tracks, drivers for our console games that we have now. I signed a lot of the drivers in that, And as far as in that situation, it was getting tracks that were popular in different parts of the country, and what tracks had big social media exposure.
Okay.
Things like that. Social media exposure is a big deal. Tracks that are popular, not only fan wise, but like I said, social media wise, and those tracks that get you that type of exposure. That's pretty much it. We're all race fans who are involved in these decisions, and so when we sign a track like Portimao or whatever, we're looking at is the track popular? Is the track, is it Formula One track? Does it ring certain types of bells? And then it comes down to, well, we want that track, and can we make a deal with them? And hopefully we can. Sometimes we can't, but we definitely try to get the tracks that everybody else wants in the service. And I guess sometimes too, it's tracks that come to us and offer good things to get into the game or something like that.
I was gonna say, like, make a deal. These tracks should be coming to you guys.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying. This
right?
is
Like,
free
some of them do.
advertisement, basically.
Why
Some
would
of
you
them do,
not?
but not all of them.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
There's some tracks that have turned us down
That's
that
wild.
we wanted in. Tracks that said, just said no.
And
What are they not like money?
That's crazy.
And in popularity?
I'm telling
and
you.
you said the key words here. This is completely unscripted, but you said that you guys consider what the players want or what the drivers want.
Yeah.
So, we're hurting on the F1 side.
I was going to add one thing. Yep.
Well, I
we've
can
been-
assure you that
World premiere.
iRacing would love every F1 track. There's no doubt about it. Making those deals happen is something that is sometimes out of our control. Sometimes the deals aren't there to be made, but without going into specifics, there are just certain things that we may or may not be willing to do to get a track.
I see.
We try to,
There's a limit, you're saying, to how much.
I guess there is. Like I said, I'm not involved in signing in doing these kinds of things, but I can assure you that everybody at iRacing and everybody in upper management in iRacing would love to have every F1 track, and we might get there one day. We're working deals with FIA and stuff like that, and maybe one day we'll be there.
Because their license is on the table. I'm just saying.
Yeah. If I tell you what, if there is a license on the table, we don't. It's not that we don't know about it. That's for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well said. Very, very well said. Now let's move on here. So speaking of tracks, right? Want to have a live coach available on demand? With Trophy AI, you'll be able to practice with Manso AI at your convenience. A real-time coach in your headphones to navigate and guide you through the track, helping you achieve race pace. This tool is awesome as it provides full brake, throttle, and steering telemetry on screen with a live review getting you ready for your next big race. Check links to Trophy AI in the description and also use Chicane12 in all caps for a 12% discount. Right? What does scanning a track look like? Yeah. So, like, can you walk us through the process of, being on the ground at the track while it happens?
Sure. So what happens is, you have this scanning device that sits on this huge tripod, and it goes around and it takes millions of data points per second or something like that, and it just spins around. So you do that where you set it up, you let it go, you run out of the way real quick, and you let it scan and do a 360 scan, and after it's done, 45 minutes or something like that, 30 minutes.
Oh, 45
minutes,
okay.
Yeah. You move it 100 yards down the road and you do the same thing over and over.
Oh my god!
And you just do that
Take
over and over. Yeah, the Nürburgring took forever, and
I was about to say,
yeah.
My God.
Like forever. Are we talking a week?
Yeah.
Oh, weeks. Yeah,
Weeks.
multiple.
With an S.
Like,
yeah, we could do a short track in a few hours. Like a short oval track or something like that.
Again, Nim Cross, if you need help at any of these events.
Not like that. I don't do the scanning. We have some guys that do the scanning stuff, and they are troopers, and they're out there in the middle of the night. At some of these racetracks that are very sketchy in the middle of the night. And they do a good job.
So when you update tracks, because we've been updating them, right? Is there has it always been this way that you scan them like that? Because I know you guys started using drones now in addition to
I don't know a lot of the new technology that they've been doing. I haven't talked to somebody that's been scanning probably for a couple of years now. Back in the older days, a good friend of mine used to do all the scanning, and I would talk to him on the phone while he was in the middle of 2 o'clock in the morning in the middle of doing a scan, and I would just kind of keep him company while he was doing that kind of stuff. And that's the way it worked back then so much. As far as drone technology, I'm sure they have a lot more things that they're doing now than I know about. And but in general, that's the way scanning works.
That's the way. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well said. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is. I don't think there's a sim/video game doing this, man. I mean, the attention on this, for years, just being on the same platform doing it, because there wasn't an iRacing 2 or an iRacing 3 or an iRacing 4. We'd probably be on iRacing 10 right now, I think.
Well, the fun part about iRacing is that we update every 3 months, and we're always adding something, and we're always improving, and it's a constant it's a constant build. It's a constant growth. And we were just today, me and the guys were, hey, I wonder what's going to get released this September, and we have ways to look, so we went to look, and oh, that's cool, that's coming, so it's fun to first off, a 12-week season is just enough. You go through the 12-week season and you get down to the end and you're like, okay, we're I'm about tired of this season or whatever. Week 13 happens, and halfway through you get the new build in week 13. Halfway through week 13, you're like, come on, the next season's got to start.
We need to do something about week 13, man. We need to figure something out for week 13. It's miserable.
It is genius the way it works, because as much as it makes you want to start to race, and you hate this period, it gets you so excited for the upcoming season.
He's right.
And that in itself is absolutely it does it to me too. I'm
oh, you should see Jeff in the text.
It's like I can't. I'm sitting there Sunday night. You got to wait another 24 hours. I was like, I can't take it. Let's go.
Let's go.
But that's what makes it. That's what makes it so much fun when you get in that first week. And even what we're in week 4 now, and I still have the newness of this season that's going on. In fact, when we're done here, I'm getting on the rig, and I'm going to do a couple races.
There you go, man.
And it's
all this talk, right?
Yeah,
that's how it is. All this
man
talk
uses
about
his
racing.
own product. Isn't that the golden rule?
Yeah. All right.
Oh man, I love it. But yeah, so I don't know, you got us laughing already, man. So I'm just curious if you have any funny stories about your time at iRacing, or any interactions with John Henry that kind of come to mind that they kind of
okay. So
right away.
Yeah. Well, 2004, the Red Sox won the World Series.
I was there.
2004, the Red Sox won the World Series. And during that season, we're doing a lot of testing with John, and he's a big racer. He loves the race, and I'm running his league. I'm adminning his league that he's doing, and I'm giving him the baseball stats and scores and plays while he's driving. And doing that kind of thing. Updating. Pedroia just got thrown out at second, and he did this really thing, and plus two, he also took us down to Boca Raton, and we flew on his private jet over to the spring training ballpark, and we got to meet the 2004 Red Sox at that time, and so one of these deals, one of the first things I had to do with iRacing was we had a big meeting, and this was the same weekend. We had a big meeting, and I'm just a guy who is a sim racing league guy who built the league, and I'm used to sitting in my basement and having my own thing. And I did this presentation with some help with some other people, and we were in this room that John Henry in his offices was this big horseshoe shape where John Henry was at the head of the table up there, and in back of me was a big screen of the PowerPoint that I was presenting, and all the big wigs, and I'm just selling ideas and different things that we have, and luckily I had no idea what I was getting myself into until I showed up in this room, and here we are, and like, oh my God, look at this, type thing. And, but the whole there's a million different experiences, a million different things. One of the fun things I get to do is I go around all the Twitch channels, and I look at the different streams, and like how I met you guys, and it's just all those things are fun, and there's new things every day.
Oh yeah, it was funny as hell when you came in there. He was saying, "Why are you going to sleep?"
Yeah. Oh, you're just.
I was like, dude, I'm about to be 40, and he's like, I'm 50. I'm 50, man. I didn't know where to put my face.
Yeah.
I had nowhere to put my face after he said.
Well,
that.
it wasn't so much.
It.
I wasn't thinking so much about our ages or anything like that. I'm just thinking, if I'm just starting a 24-hour race, I'm pumped up.
Yeah, I know. I could not sleep, bro. You were 100%.
There's no way I'm going to bed.
So I went to bed, right? And I pulled out my phone, and I'm watching my own stream that's happening outside the bedroom.
Yeah.
My wife is like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know. I can't. The guys are there. I'm worried. They're gonna crash. I don't know if they crashed the car. I don't know what's going on."
Yeah, I told you go down and get a 5-hour energy. You're gonna be up all night.
You told me to get many.
Yeah.
That's great advice, right there.
Yeah, you were awesome, Dan. I love that, and you jumped in many times, so I really appreciate that, man. Again,
I said, you guys look like you were having a blast. I was actually a little jealous that I wasn't in the race.
You did. You mentioned you was like, dude, I want to race, man.
Yeah,
like,
I want to be in it. But I was traveling the sprint car races, like I told you about. I go to all the time, and I was going to a couple of those that weekend, and I wasn't able to be in that race.
That was awesome, man. All right, so here we go.
I got the next one. It's kind of piggybacks that one, but is there any meetings or interactions where you had a moment where you were like, "How did I get myself here?" moment? You talked a little bit about them, but maybe you could pull out because you've been with them from the start, where you had the "Oh, we got something here" moment, and that you knew when iRacing was going to be iRacing.
So there are many moments that I ask myself, "How did I get here?" Because I don't deserve to be here. To me,
yes, you do.
It's amazing that I'm able to work for iRacing, and I often am grateful for that. Moments to where, well, I tell you what, our biggest moments were during COVID. We were about 90,000 people, and then COVID hit, and we exploded. And at the same time that we're exploding customer-wise, we're adding 1,000 people a day at least during COVID. And then we're doing live television.
1,000 people a day.
Yeah, and then we're doing live television on major networks. For every different race series, for IndyCar, for NASCAR, for World of Outlaws, we're doing live broadcasts and live TV shows on Fox and different networks.
Wow.
And that time, I hear people talking about how they were bored at home sitting doing nothing. That time for me and for everybody at iRacing was unbelievable. We were all pulling 24-hour days, and everybody was just
wow.
The broadcast team and everybody, it was just crazy. And it was like that for about 3 months, but it was it was a great 3 months. It was incredible, absolutely amazing. And we made a lot of relationships during that time. And we grew a lot during that time too. It was awesome.
Yeah, I can
definitely.
only imagine because I know a lot of the guys that we interview. The thing that they say the time frame when they got in the sim racing was around COVID.
Yeah.
So
I remember watching like Travis Pastrana, like the NASCAR guys doing because they couldn't race, they would just race from
Right.
home and they televise. You know, that's why I remember first seeing it. It was, I think the F1 even did like a mini event and stuff like that.
Yep. It was Indy cars. It's such a blur right now. You try to look back on it.
I
And
know, right?
It's such a blur.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm ready for COVID.
I'm ready for.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah. If we have
Nim's
another
like,
COVID,
I like my sleep.
we are ready.
Well, if it happens, if it happens, we're ready. But
He's like, I like
hopefully
my
we
sleep.
don't have to go through another COVID. To do
I
that
know.
again.
Yeah. I say that, but there was
Tongue in cheek. That's all.
Yeah. We got to look at the bright side, though. We had our fun with the situation and how it went down. I mean, that's kind of awesome, though. I'm really how the numbers skyrocketed is insane. I didn't think it was that much. 1,000 people a day is.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's insane. How do you manage that?
We were hiring
you're not
people,
ready for something like that.
We were hiring people, and I think I had 2 people working for me at that time, and we had just gone through the process of interviewing a bunch of people, and we hired one person, and then COVID happened, and we were calling everybody pretty much that we interviewed and said, "You want a job?
Hey, you want a job?
You want a job?" We were only kidding. We actually called you back. So
yeah. It was a very unique time.
Yeah. And again, guys, I don't want to promote COVID as being a good thing. And shout out to the people. There's a lot of people that suffered during that time that we went through, and it was painful. So I mean, I'm just. Hopefully, we don't have to go through that again. But if we do, it's right back here. So, moving on.
Well, if you're stuck in your house, you need something to do. We'll always be here for you.
There we go.
And look, we appreciate it.
We got stewards watching your back too. They'll send you the email. The email will come right away because I've got it through them. And it's super detailed too, those emails when you get them. So all right, Nim, for the next question. What's one thing you wish racers knew about iRacing? Because, on the show, we talk about iRacing a lot. We also include every other sim because we're not an iRacing show, even though it's dear to our hearts. But we do race all sims. But if you had to think of one thing to tell someone, that you wish, iRacers knew about the sim.
So I guess the way I look at it is that sometimes I'll watch people stream or I'll see comments, and if something's wrong, people will make a snarky comment or think that we don't care. When it's the farthest thing from the truth that's possible. And people might say, well, what about the situation where guys are running through the grass cooling their tires or something like that? And one thing that what about a certain tire model? Why is it this not perfect? Why does it do this? Well, one thing that I've learned with the engineers at iRacing, there's a lot of ways that you can go through and put a Band-Aid on something and fix it. One thing that is happening in iRacing is that a real physics model, a real world physics model is being created. So that the tire and the millions of points in the tire that take data, that make things happen. And I'm trying to explain it to you when I don't know what I'm talking about. But I've seen other people that do know what they're talking about, and I've heard them talk. Okay. So instead of having a problem and putting a Band-Aid on something and fix it, they are trying to figure out why in our world this is happening. And what do we have to do, or where are we wrong, and what do we need to fix and correct to make it react properly as it would in the real world? So when you see something going on that is an issue, it's not that the people at iRacing don't care about fixing it. It's that they want to fix it the right way, and they want to fix it in a way that is a real world type fix. And believe me, everybody at iRacing will admit that we mess up sometimes and things get screwed up sometimes, but it's not through lack of caring. It's through, absolutely billions and billions of lines of code where one little character can be off somewhere and totally screw things up. But when these guys are making a fix, like with the new tire model that came out for the GT3 cars and the prototype cars that just came out,
which I love.
Yeah, it's about going through. It's about going through and making that tire react in a physical world that it's not a physical world. It's on a PC chip, but it is a physical world in our minds, and it is reacting correctly as it would in the real world, and those calculations and those feelings are happening real life, and they're not something that is saying, well, it needs to be a little bit forgiving here, so let's just adjust these numbers over here. That's not the way it works at iRacing. At iRacing, they say, okay, this is a problem. How are we going to fix it? Or what's wrong in our world that is making this react like that? And people are going through and fixing it the right way instead of doctoring it up.
Man,
wow,
that's so crazy.
That's dedication, bro.
Yeah. And
like I said, it's a lot of people way smarter than me working on this. You guys are lucky for that.
Yeah. I was gonna say it makes so much sense that you guys aren't just adjusting like a property of the tire to try to get a certain outcome. You're actually fixing the world. You're like, okay, like this world, everything in this world isn't responding the way it should. What about this world should we fix? That's crazy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this is textbook right here, guys. If you're not convinced by now.
Yeah.
Well, one thing you guys talk about too is you talk about the other games and sims and things like that. It's great. We feel that all of those products that people get into maybe what is introduced by somebody that's just starting out, and that's where they go and that's where they get to. We believe that if we keep doing our job and we keep having our product and the passion for our product the way we do, people are going to wind up at iRacing, because this is where the pinnacle is. This is where
absolutely
the best competition is. You'll get no other online events like we have. Just today and this afternoon, GT3, we had 1,000 people at the 2:00 GT3 race sign up for that event. That's 30 some splits. That went
right
off,
there.
and yeah. And nothing against anybody else. Like I said, they make great products and they do good products, and we root for them to do well, because we feel that they are a stepping stone to us, and we can be a stepping stone to them too. People might leave, might have our product and they might want to try something else. It's the sim racing world has a lot of different options, and as long as we're a part of what people do, we're happy.
Correct.
Yeah,
nothing
that's a good
doesn't
way to put it.
That's a great way to put it. And I mean, also just to add just a little bit to that is you have the many real life drivers that are using your sim to train and get better, in real life.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing that has always convinced me about the physics model, right?
And
100%.
The fact that those real life drivers, through all the different disciplines, race on iRacing. And what is very cool is that because they value iRacing in such a way, you can be confident that when you're driving our cars, that you're getting a sense that they have when they're driving their cars on Sunday or Saturday, or whatever they're doing.
100%. I mean, and it's not just in one tier too. You have Formula drivers, you have NASCAR drivers, you got a NASCAR guy that became pro, Max Verstappen, Daniel Morad, which is a huge iRacing guy too.
Daniel's a great guy. I just watched him race at Watkins Glen. I was up at Watkins Glen a couple weeks ago, and Daniel was there, and he's a wonderful example of drivers on iRacing that gets value out of iRacing, and
Yeah.
includes what he learns on iRacing in the real world. And I'm sure, obviously, there's differences. Nobody's here to say that there's no differences, but
Yeah.
there are things that train you for real life stuff too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's awesome, man. I'm just thinking about all of the time and effort and passion. And, I've worked places where you kind of go through a cycle where you get a group of guys that are passionate, making a great product. And then at some point, the business side comes in and says, okay, we have to, you know, restrict this time frame, or we have to restrict the money or something like that.
Mhm.
But it
EA.
it
Oh,
so it makes me, I can't help but think about the fact that you guys out the gate chose a subscription model when subscription services weren't really a thing. But there's no other way to do what you guys do unless it is a perpetual service, because every other sim, they're thinking about a version 1, and at a certain point you can't put everything in version 1. You have to start kind of putting stuff to the side for version 2, or
Yeah.
shelving things, or shelving certain
Well,
ideas, or looking at budgets. And so I guess my question would be, like, what gave you confidence that the subscription model was the way to go?
well, so the actual input of it was John and Dave and Steve talking about
Mhm.
those things and coming up with the model. The one thing that people, you hear people talking about how expensive iRacing is, and
Mhm.
it's a hobby. It's not the game that you go out buy one time and you play for a few hours and you're done with it. It is a hobby. And one thing that iRacing has that a lot of other games or whatever products don't have is, we have servers all around the world.
oh,
And
yes, you do.
it's not,
Yep.
this isn't
We're in
those
Hawaii.
servers. Yeah,
I
those
find races
servers,
all the time.
those servers and everything you see going on have a constant cost to them.
Yeah.
It's not just a one-time fee. And we it's not only that we have servers around the world, we have the best servers around the world,
Mm.
and we have the best data farms, and
Mm.
they, and that's just one aspect of the cost of doing this type of business. There are many other aspects to it also.
Yeah.
Um, we have a staff of over 200 now, I believe it is, which is crazy to me because I remember when we were 30, 40 people, and
Wow.
yeah, and the there's cost involved in everything, but uh the there are actually other games out there, and that's fine too. There are other games that cost, you pay $100 for a plane or $60 for a train, and
Mhm.
it's that kind of thing too. But $15 for a car, and
I paid
you know
$90 for a truck
12, yeah,
and trucks in.
right. So
Mhm.
so
It's my
it's
baby,
just
though.
part of the
It's my
hobby.
baby.
If you enjoy it, if you enjoy your hobby,
Yeah.
you'll invest some time. And one thing too is when we create a track, and what's a track cost, like $12. Like
Yeah.
I told you guys before, I get it for free, so I'm not sure what it costs.
I
But
know, man. We need
Just a
but
soft flex.
yeah,
just a
so
little, just a hint of a flex here.
but whatever it costs, it's it's the scanning, and it does take a lot of cost to build that track,
Well,
Yeah.
and the artist and everybody that goes through where it gets to where it goes, and the cost is, I think, obviously I would think it, but it's reasonable.
to me, it's
But
fair. To me,
but
it's
it gets
fair.
updated. It's not
Yeah.
just, hey, you get this
Right.
and it's gone. You don't never get it. There's updates every new season. There's new updates you got to
Every
do
3
for
months.
tracks. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then how do you pay these 200 plus employees, right?
Mhm.
How do they get money?
Mhm.
How do they make money? Because the sim itself doesn't cost anything. You just pay for the subscription. So to me, Jason's opinion, and I might get some hate for this, but
Mhm.
my $10, $12 a month is always justified with iRacing. There's never been a time where, even though I pay it by year, but there's never been a time where I thought that I was paying for a product and not seeing it evolve or constantly have things for me to use, right? Because iRacing is, to me, iRacing is the sim of all sims, with the exception of, truck driving. It's racing. It's a racing sim. It's So to me, it's justified. You have 200 people. How do you, a giant corporation, you cannot just release a DLC pack and expect, all these things happening together. As we
Wise man
mentioned,
said, nothing. If it's free, it's probably not worth it.
if you're good at
you get what
never
you
do
pay
it
for.
free.
Get what you pay for.
There you go.
Well, if you also, if you take advantage of the sales that we have, and you take advantage of getting your $10 of credits every season, it's really not that expensive when you're looking at everything, and the discounts that you get for buying bulk, and
The Black
credits.
Friday, man. That's when I top off.
Yeah, there you go.
So please talk to the guys over there at iRacing. Tell them not to change a thing. Okay.
I don't think they will, but
Hey, so Nim, kind of dovetailing into what you were talking about, the employees. Do any of your, or how much a percentage of your employees actually race themselves?
So Nim Cross, and
I love that.
I am in charge of the company racing league.
Oh, what a group that would be!
But we don't really. We used to do a league like every Friday and stuff like that, but it's too hard to do it. So we have a thing now where we call it the weekly challenge, and everybody signs up and they put what races that they're going to do every week, what series they're going to run, and we input everybody inputs their results into the spreadsheet, and so if a bunch of us are running the Gen 4 car, we all put our results in there every week, and we have our own little point standings, and we have at least 24 different series that everybody's running in, and not everybody at iRacing races on iRacing, but a fair amount do. And the whole idea about us doing this kind of thing where we compare results and we encourage each other, and I do a little write-up every week. I use ChatGPT to do a write-up on each series, and I'll give it some kind of snarky review, about who's doing good and who's not, and so it's just a way to keep it fun a little bit and keep everybody excited. And one of our challenges this season, we got a bunch of guys that don't know anything about dirt, so we're running 305 sprint cars, and some guy from England right now who has never seen a dirt track in his life is actually leading the series, which is
wow.
That's hilarious.
But like I said, we
crazy.
have fun with it, and it's a good way to escape a little bit from your work. And what I always challenge people to do is, you work hard on this game, you got to take some time to enjoy it, and that keeps your passion going.
There you go. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it keeps everything fresh.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, so the next question. Does iRacing collaborate with any real race car driver to help with the, I guess, the driving model, the experience?
All the time.
All the time.
There is nothing there. I don't think there's any car that we work on where we don't collaborate with real world drivers.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, there are always collaborations going on. Like, I talked to you about dirt. I was involved in getting dirt going, things like that. Christopher Bell, Larson, a whole bunch of different guys were involved in helping us sort that out. Max Verstappen helps us out with different things.
I heard of that guy name once or twice.
Excuse me. There's just
no big deal.
Every single series, and every car that we make has a real world driver to help us dial it in.
You can't beat that. How do you compete against that? You can't. Come on.
The next person that I hear complain about the subscription wise, I'm just going to slap them and be like, listen to this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk about the subscription. A lot of these guys do it because they're passionate about it also. So, I don't know if there's somebody out there that's getting paid or whatever. I don't ever ask about that kind of thing. But I know Bell and those guys,
But even if they did
sponsor their cars, and we have sponsored their cars before and things like that. But They helped us out because they were passionate about what we were doing also.
Right.
Yeah.
All I want to say is, even if they did get paid, excuse me, I'm the end user. I'm getting all the benefits of a car that was, has data from a real life driver. That's all I need to know.
Justifiable.
Yeah, 100%. They can
And
get paid all day.
Right. It would be. You're right. It would be justifiable. I didn't mean it in that sense. I was just trying to not put the
I see.
outlook of the driver was getting paid for this. That's why they did it. I just want to let you know that these guys usually do it because they love what we're doing and they want to be involved.
Okay, that's even better. Honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess speaking of real life drivers, I know one of the big comparisons, watching guys like Daniel Murad, everybody's obsessed with the braking model and, how close is it to real life and, with active pedals coming out and things like that. What was kind of what's the main, idea or approach to the braking model in iRacing?
Well, I don't know. It's as far as the physics thing, when you're going that deep, I'm really not involved. But I haven't gotten a chance to test out the active stuff yet. I thought about when I was building my Rico back there, whether I could get the active pedal or not, but I didn't yet. But when we're talking about like Daniel, helping out with the GT3 or GT4 cars, I'm sure the people and a lot of the engineers that work on our physics models are were real life engineers on real racing teams. So those guys that are working on the physics are people that worked on real life race teams and doing this kind of stuff. So the people that are working on the braking model are people that are familiar with the braking models in these cars.
Wow. Man, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All
right. So I'm going to roll the next one here is where do you see iRacing in the next 2 years and then in the next 5 years? What does that outlook look like for iRacing?
So, I don't know that I'm the best guy to talk to you about this kind of stuff. I don't make that kind of decisions.
You are the best guy to talk to.
In your opinion.
In my opinion, in Nim Cross's opinion, we're going to continue to grow, customer wise and driver wise. We'll be releasing some new console games, and we'll be looking at the console market. The NASCAR game is coming out this fall, and it's going to be spectacular. It's absolutely going to be amazing. We've already done the dirt games, and we're just going to bring a casual racing user in with those games that is going to become a more dedicated user and hobbyist and become a part of iRacing. And it's just going to continue to grow as it is. We're going to add new series. The bigger series that you guys think of and love, hopefully, will be there. And
F1.
I didn't say any words, but I tell you what. When we talk about every series in the world, it is our goal to have them one day.
Fair.
Whatever you can think of, whatever you can think of, we want it on iRacing.
There you go.
Okay. Well said. Well
That's
said,
right.
Nim Cross. I'm telling you. So here for the final question. Before we close this one down, we'd absolutely love having you on the show.
This is awesome.
The time is flying right now. It's completely going nuts. But for the final question, what is a feature you still haven't seen in iRacing that you wish it existed today? Come on, reveal it.
Yeah, I don't think about it. I don't know. I guess like when you hit a wall, a fist comes out and punches you in the head or something like that. We could do, but
Oh my god.
I don't know. It's we talk about different things that and these one of the great things about iRacing, and one of the, when this whole thing was conceptualized back in the early 2000s, is we knew that there would be third party aspects that come aboard. I don't know that any of us could have dreamt of what is actually going on. With the the
No.
Sim Racing Expo is happening in September.
Yes, it is.
Who
George
would have thought
Anzaldo.
of that? Who would have thought of that?
Yeah.
And it's not just the fact that this is happening. All the vendors that are going to be there are absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And you'll walk from one space to another, and you're like, I want that, and I want that. And
Oh
I
yeah,
want
this is
that.
gonna be a problem, bro.
As you
This
go
is
through,
gonna
and
be-
you're gonna meet incredible people, people that are going to be there. And so when you ask me what I want to see, the sim racing has already overstepped what I ever thought it could be by so much that when you ask me that, I honestly don't know about whatever else it is, because it has far exceeded what I have ever dreamed of, and it's absolutely amazing. If you get into a race right now, especially if monitors are great and things like that, but if you put yourself in a VR situation and you're running, if you're running down the straightaway at Le Mans and it's raining, you could be scared to death just like you would be in a real car. And the fact that we have achieved that sense of realism is absolutely astounding to me. And so I don't mean to disappoint you with an answer that I don't have an answer. What else there is that I want, because it's so far exceeded what I thought it would ever be, and what the whole third party realm of it has become, that I just don't have an answer for that question.
No, you're not disappointing
No,
nothing.
not
That's
the least of it.
the least
That's
of
a
it.
perfect
Exactly.
answer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I mean, I do like the punch in the face, man, especially for the
That's
guys
the only thing I can think. What else could we have? I tell you what, that new SimiCube 2 Pro that I have now has about broken my wrist about 3 or 4 times already.
There you go. I know. You know what it is? It's a sense of immersion. When I crash the car, I usually let go of the wheel.
I do too. Yeah, I have let go, but not far enough away, and just got whacked by that thing. Spin around. So you got to make sure you pull your hands all the way back. Yeah.
I one time I left the engine running and something got loose on the bottom side of the rig, and the car rolled into a wall. And the wheel jerked like that, and it straight up slapped me in the face.
Yeah,
I was mad as hell.
Yeah,
this is the first time I didn't get marked up. I was, because if I got marked up, I would have made up the biggest excuse. Like Photoshop
this guy was
somebody.
huge.
Yeah, this guy was big.
It was 10 of them.
On me.
I
would have said no way. I would have said my sim racing wheel did it. I would have said my sim racing wheel did it, and that's what happened. But I've been there. I've leaned forward, and I've been like, the car's just sitting there, and all of a sudden something happens, and the wheel goes spinning, and it's right by my face.
It is smack, and this is no warning.
Scary.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
All right, so we're reaching the end here of the episode. We're gonna go through the round table, guys. Is there anything that we want to ask Mr. Nim Cross before we release him from the Chicane podcast?
Nah, man. I said it earlier. The industry is in the best of hands. There's an army of people behind you, I'm sure, from iRacing that are just as passionate as you are. And iRacing's in great hands. The future's in good hands.
I'm riding on their coattails. They're not behind me.
Give yourself a little bit more credit there, buddy. But it's been an absolute honor and privilege to talk to you here. And thank you very much.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Eric, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, and I say it again whenever I see people that have aligned their lives with their passion. It's inspirational to me. You can feel it, you can see it, smell it. And, I just see that coming off of you when it comes to just the work you guys do with iRacing. I appreciate it. It's inspiring. And, just kind of piggybacking off of what Jeff said, it's in great hands, and this is really kind of just the beginning, especially in the U.S. Like, we're just getting going. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
In this market,
it.
yeah,
Thank
100%. So Nim Cross, I don't know, man. You joined my stream, and I'm so thankful that I had the privilege of having iRacing Chief Steward in the stream, let alone send you an impromptu invite to the show, and you gladly accepted. You even typed up your email like in full view in the full public. I almost went, dude, you don't have to do it. You can just DM me, man. Just private message me. He's like, nah, man, here's my email. Hit me up, like no fear. And then the same time, you were actually stewarding Team Redline, which was great news because you guys care. And that's where I want to get into. It's people, it's professionals like yourself that take the hobby and you still have fun with it, yes, but you elevate it to a professional level and you're like, hey man, we're trying to simulate something as close to real life as possible and something that has repercussions, consequences. So how is it that a sim can make you think twice about your actions, which is insane, right? It's a crazy thing to think about. So I just want to say you are highly regarded. Thank you so much. You're a legend. You got the Holy Grail music. I have to find a way to put this in the show. I'll find a way. But I just want to say, hey, man, thank you so much for, coming on the show, giving us the time of day.
Yeah.
It's been a while, and we pushed it out because you're so busy with having the time of your life going to races. He's like, yeah, man, I got a bunch of races to go to. So
yeah, well, I tell you what, I appreciate you guys too, and thank you for your kindness. You guys, when I being involved in everything I've been involved with, which like I said, I'm very blessed. Can't say it enough. I'm very lucky. But when I look out and see what you guys are doing, you guys are the same passion that I have. And that's what's so exciting. You guys are doing the fun. You're doing your team racing. Look at the setups you guys got, and look at the podcast you're doing. You guys are stepping out, and you're doing your thing, and it's awesome. It's awesome to see. It's awesome to see the fun you guys are having. You're informing everybody else, and you're doing it in a fun, positive way. And I appreciate that. Your streams are fun to watch. Your videos are fun to watch. And I am very happy to have done the show with you guys and done this interview with you guys. And if there's anything I can do going forward, I'm always here for you guys.
Man, Nim Cross is wow, man.
That's awesome, man.
It touched me, man, a little bit. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. F1 is the only thing that I would ask for.
I'll tell you what, I'll get on it and I'll talk to the people and we'll see what we can do.
Appreciate it.
Get them online too. You know what I mean? So, all right. So thank you so much, guys. Jeff, welcome back from your trip. Thank you so much for helping so much with the show and in the background. You know what I'm saying? You already know what I'm saying. And there's one more thing that you usually say.
Gentlemen,
come on.
Drive fast and brake late.
There it is, man. But not in front of the Chief Steward, man, because
try a little brake a little.
Watch out for that
early.
car in front of you.
Yeah,
visualize the car in front of you.
Oh, I got set up for that one.
All right, guys, and with that, have a great start of your week. Thank you.